Our family was very close. We did a lot of things together. Dana, when I first moved back to Boston, he came back and lived with me for a while back there. Even back then, you know, he'd be down at a bar with a friend or something, and he'd call me up and go, "Mom, we're having a beer down at, you know, so-and-so's bar. Come on down and have a beer with us." I wrote this book because I don't like the person Dana's become. And the thing that pushed it over the edge for me was when his grandmother got sick and died this summer. His grandmother was one of those grandmothers that he was with a lot. She lived with us for a while. When he would go back east, when we lived in Vegas, he spent time with her back there. So she was sick and dying, and he hadn't spoke to her in 2 years. And he called her up and told her, "Graham, I'm going to send my plane to get you. I'm going to bring you back to Vegas to live with us. You're going to have the best medical care money can buy." And then she never heard from him again. So, and that was typical Dana. So I really didn't even think twice about it. But the final straw was when I saw one of her neighbors. And her neighbor asked me what I was doing there. And I said, "My mom's sick, and, you know, I'm down here taking care of her." And she said, "Oh, we thought she was gone." I said, "Gone where?" She said, "Well, she told us her grandson was coming to get her. She told everybody in the neighborhood that she wouldn't be here because he was coming to get her to take care of her now." So that just sort of pushed the final button for me. And, you know, I was hoping the book, a lot of the stuff might bring him back or make him think about who he's become and what he does to people and the way he behaves. But I don't think it's really had that effect on him.
Now that grandmother passed away.
Yes.
Did he come to her funeral?
No. We had she was cremated in Florida, and then we had a funeral service for her up in Connecticut. And he never came. He didn't send flowers, card, nothing. Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from him for what he's done for MMA and the UFC. I mean, Dana has a high school education, and that's it. And I think it's pretty amazing the things he's been able to do with MMA and the UFC. But he's not a good person. He seems to have lost his character somewhere along the way. He mistreats people. It's terrible the way he speaks of women and treats women. That really bothers me because I don't believe I've ever brought him up to behave like that. He doesn't speak about me very often, you know, and when he does, it's very short and brief. He doesn't like to talk about me. My mom was never around. But he doesn't seem to add to it why I was never around. You know, I really did work like 80, 100 hours a week, so I was able to pick up a lot of money. But that was to pay for everything. If he didn't go to that school, if I didn't work all those hours, he would have never met the Fertittas. That, you know, it's that sort of chain reaction thing. There would be no UFC.
Do you think Dana has used steroids?
I do believe Dana's used steroids. I hadn't seen any pictures of him for a while, and then I saw one, and he had no neck. You know, he was just like, and his seams were busting on his jacket, and I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing? So yeah, it certainly looked like it. I don't know if Dana fears me. I just really do think that he knows that I will probably be one of the only people who won't back down, you know, won't kiss his ass, who won't take his crap. I'm his mom, and I should never have to. And he knows I never would. He did in one interview say we're a lot alike. I have a hard time with Dana's marriage, I guess you could call it, because I am a believer. If you're married, and that's it. And if you don't want to be, and you want to be out with other people, then leave the person you're with. Don't make a joke of your marriage. But his marriage is a joke.
How so?
Well, everyone knows that he puts Tiger Woods to shame. You know, he has plenty of the ring card girls sleep with him. There's two of them I know for sure. And I don't remember I don't know if I ever knew her name. She was the first ring card girl. I think she used to do the Zions commercials for them too. But I know he was sleeping with her. It used to annoy me. The former ring card girl, Rochelle, He took her out, did a lot of things for her, helped her get into Playboy. She was trying to build a career, and she wanted to go well beyond being a ring card girl for the UFC. So Dana was with her at a number of functions and with friends, and it was pretty obvious that they had a relationship for a while. Yeah, he slept with his sister-in-law in my house, which made me absolutely furious. I mean, he goes after any girl he wants and usually gets them. So his wife they're constantly fighting. The honeymoon, she gave him the worst black eye I've ever seen. He nearly lost his eye. So I don't know if that's his way of handling it, but he's gone overboard with handling it.
Are you familiar with the Federal Trade Commission
Yes, I know
and
them.
their investigation?
I've heard about the investigation, yeah.
Yeah, now there's speculation that there's an investigation. I can tell you firsthand that there is an FTC investigation regarding the UFC because I've been interviewed by the attorneys from the Federal Trade Commission. So there's currently an investigation into the UFC's business practices by the FTC, and it's been going on for quite a while. Are you familiar with it? And if you are, what do you know about it? But more importantly, do you think that the UFC has a monopoly on the sport of MMA?
I've just read a few things about the investigation and that they hired a big-time law firm out of New York to handle it for them. But I do believe they have a monopoly. I don't know how anyone could think they don't. I mean, anyone that starts to even be up and coming at all or poses any kind of a threat, or their fighters or employees go to work for someone else, they buy them out or they drive them out. Yeah, I was really surprised when somebody came back to me and said that Dana had made those comments that he was sick of me always wanting money from him. I have never, ever asked Dana for money, ever. I pay my own bills. Even when I went to all the fights, I paid for my own airfare, my own hotel room. I just got free tickets to the fights. But, I mean, that was pretty pricey. I wouldn't have been able to afford to buy them if he didn't give them to me. But I've never asked Dana for any money for anything. And as far as writing the book for money, I wasn't looking to get money. I didn't think I would make a lot of money off of it. And I haven't. I would love to see Dana change. I really would. I would like to see him become a better person. He has everything. I just keep saying it. There's no reason to be that mean and cruel to people all the time, to be hurtful. I don't understand it. If he would just step back and think about it. Maybe he needs a psychologist or a shrink or something to make him see all of that, the person he's become from the person he used to be.
If you could say anything to him right now, if you were here, what would you say to Dana?
Come out and see me and talk.
Do you still love your son?
Of course I do. This has been tough doing all of this. I mean, somebody said, oh yeah, I'm sure it is. Yes, it is. And anyone who's a parent can certainly understand that. But I would love to see him change, make things the way I want them. Not completely, but to have my old Dana back. Yeah, absolutely. To be able to see the grandkids, even if it remains strained between him and I. Why drag the kids into this so they can't see their grandmother? They don't get to see their uncles or anything. I don't think that's right at all, especially since we were all really close when Dana was growing up. Everyone did everything together.